Thank you so much for joining us today for the Pastor's Potluck Podcast. Here on the Pastor's Potluck, it's similar to a normal potluck where you might get something that you want and there may be something that you just want to pass up altogether. And that's okay. There's something here for everybody. Our goal here is to encourage you and maybe in the process entertain you. If you're ready, let's dig in. Well, thank you so much once again for joining us for another episode of the Pastor's Potluck Podcast. We got a good one today for you. We're here with Pastor Jess, our children's pastor here at Southridge Church, and we are recapping VBS.
Woohoo!
What a fun week that we had. 2 weeks ago, week and a half ago?
2 weeks ago.
I was on
2 weeks
vacation,
ago.
so.
Yeah. I think that was very smart, taking vacation the week after VBS.
Oh, it was fantastic. It was a good trip. But man, VBS, what an amazing time that we had.
We did.
I can't tell you how blessed I was to help and be a part of it by being one of the team leaders there for the kindergarten and first grade, which
the biggest group of the whole week.
The biggest group, the last to fill up for volunteers.
Yes. But I will say, one of my favorite things was watching you and Erica leading your group from station to station, whether you were like silly octopus or a shark. I think the first night I remember Erica saying they had to be snorkels. But it got them from point A to point B and there were no issues. So it was always my favorite. I would look down the hallway and you were like arms going crazy. Look at me. And I was like, oh, wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's special. Yeah. So for context, why we did these different themes and stuff like that. Tell us the overall theme for VBS. Yeah. Why I was walking down the hallway as an octopus or trying to do like a shark theme or whatever. So I'm going to backtrack just a minute.
That's fine. So this was the first time we've had Vacation Bible School at Southridge in over 6 years. Yeah. And so when I started last year, Scott was like, I'd really like you to bring back VBS. And I was like, okay, we can do that. Yeah. And so we had started looking for curriculum and stuff for it. And the one that we wanted was called Make Waves, and it's from Orange. And so back in January, myself and Terry and Sherry all went to that conference. And you know how you go to conferences and they'll do these drawings and you never think that you're going to be the one to win?
No, because there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds
of people. There were thousands of people there.
Yeah.
Thousands of people there. I mean, there were over 2,000 children's pastors there at that conference.
Yeah.
So I never, ever, and in my mind, I never win anything. So I never win anything. It's the last day of the conference and we're sitting there and I get a text message and it says, congratulations, Jessica. You're the winner of Orange VBS Make Waves. Come to our booth by 3:15 and pick up your stuff. I did not think that this was serious. Yeah. But I was like, well, I mean, we'll go look. And sure enough, I had won the VBS. So the whole curriculum, everything, we won. Complete package, everything. Yeah. Completely free. Won the whole thing. Actually, it was massive. They gave us this huge tote that it went in. It had scuba gear and kinetic sand and t-shirts and lanyards and buttons and sunglasses and bucket hats.
You had to actually buy an extra piece of luggage to get it home.
Yes, I had to buy an extra piece of luggage to bring that home. But it was worth the extra $30 or whatever just because we didn't have to pay for I'd rather pay for luggage than to have to pay for curriculum because that's so expensive. But correct. So we were definitely blessed in that mindset, I guess, or in that area because it was free. I mean, it was completely free. It was called Make Waves and it was so much fun. It was a beachy pool kind of theme. I don't know. I think you could really have taken it anyway. We did more of a beachy pool type thing. We had surfboards, we had inflatables, we had all those kinds of things. Our hallway back in the E-Zone, if you have not been back there, is pretty cool. We actually took the whole, and you can still look and see because we left it all up because we thought it's summer. Why not leave it up and make it look fun? Yeah. So we took, what is that stuff called?
It's like
the big rolls of
table
tablecloths. Yes.
It's like the plastic table cover.
Yes. So we took big rolls of that and like looped it through the hallways and cut out little silhouettes of like animals. It looks like it's swimming in the ocean. And our toddler room looked like a little not our toddler room. Our preschool room looked like a little surf shack. Can't talk. Our E-zone was all decorated with Hawaiian skirts and stuff like that, and our cafe was all the little luau. We had the tiki huts and all that kind of stuff, and then our stage was surfboards and inflatables and palm trees and a big massive inflatable shark, which was my favorite. It's actually still in my office.
Did that come in the package?
I wish. No, we got that at Sam's.
Okay.
Pastor Cheryl said, I'll get that for VBS. And I'm like, dang, I really kind of wish I would have bought it myself because now I want to take it on vacation with me. So
You should. I mean, when are you going to use it again?
I know. I might take it, Cheryl, just so you know.
Yeah.
I might take it on vacation.
That's all right.
It's huge. It's really fun, too. And it rocks. Like, it goes in the pool, and it's like this rocking shark. It's cool.
Yeah, it was such a cool experience. I mean, even like you walk into the place and then you get the vibe of like what the theme is like, and it's very clear, like what the Make Waves theme and the decorations and the whole beach and summer underwater vibe. It is, you can tell what it is.
Oh yeah,
and then. But it was all the way down to like some of the smallest details, like our snacks area.
Oh my goodness,
was so on point.
That Linda McVeigh and her snack crew, hit the ball out of the park. I mean, like when I tell you, I went to Linda and I said, would you kind of take the lead on this? And she's of course like, yeah, but I sent her what they had given us because there were ideas in the curriculum. Like you didn't have to use them, but there were ideas. And so she took it and went with it, and oh my goodness, like. So
who was back there really quick? It was Linda,
Sherry Rasmussen, Lori,
Jennifer Hill,
Hope, Priscilla, Laura Pierce, and I feel like there was another person, but Kayla Shamblin.
Yeah.
So, but I'm telling you right now, those ladies killed it. They were amazing. One of the things that Linda was very adamant about was because we do have kids that have allergies, your son being one of them, was that she did not want us to not have an option to where a kid couldn't eat something that was there. So there was a fresh fruit option every single night.
Yeah.
And all of them got so creative. There was, the very first night were these little octopus made out of strawberries and cutie oranges. Yeah. There were crabs out of watermelon. There were dolphins out of bananas. They had little mandarin orange cups that looked like fish. And then the last night we talked about the fruits of the spirit. And so they just made a fruit salad. Yeah. But the kids loved it. I mean, all of the snacks were amazing. They did things like the little pretzel rods that looked like fishing poles, or the night that we talked about Peter walking on the water, they had a Rice Krispie treat with a little Teddy Graham, and the kids got to decorate it to look like water. But it was so creative, and the kids absolutely loved it. I actually posted pictures of the snacks that we did so Orange has a Facebook page like for Vacation Bible School where everyone can kind of go on and share their ideas, like what their decorations look like, what they've done. And so I had to like brag on our ladies. And so I posted those pictures on that page, and it was crazy. People are commenting like, oh my goodness, those are the cutest things ever. Yeah. And I said, I cannot take credit for for this. This is all of them. I mean, they hit it out of the park. It was probably one of the best things. I really liked the fresh fruit just because you never knew. Like I knew what she was doing, but then to actually see it come to life, it was the coolest thing. Loved it. Yeah, it was cool. Like just having the option for kids as well, because they were able to sit there and go, hey, I want this or this. And then they see it come out and they're like, oh, that is so cool. Like just the reactions on their face. It was like, okay. I mean, it was awesome. It was top notch from top to bottom. I really appreciated too, like the effort that like volunteers put into it. We tried to put, like, everybody got their little lanyards or whatever that were kind of like fun and summery. But like our registration ladies, they actually had a theme every night for what they were going to wear, from hula skirts to Hawaiian muumuu looking things. Yeah. And they were the first people that you saw when you came in. So like knowing that from the time they came in to the time they left, they were seeing people that were dressed up. They were seeing people that were feeling the beach vibe and feeling that kind of, fun, whatever, I guess. It was just really cool. My favorite thing was probably I dressed up every single night. Yeah.
Was this your highlight for you?
It was probably one of my highlights. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I had a different outfit every night. And on Tuesday, I came home and I was like, I want an inflatable shark costume. Yeah. And my mom was like, are you for real? And I'm like, I'm dead serious. She said, it's not going to be here by Thursday. And I got on Amazon, and it said it could be here on Wednesday. Yeah. And I ordered it. It came in on Wednesday, and I was an inflatable shark on Thursday evening.
Yeah, I'll tell you this much. Thing ever. Whenever you weren't in the inflatable shark costume, you on Thursday, you looked like a tired tourist.
I was a very tired tourist.
You looked like
you asked me on Sunday. You asked me on Sunday. You were like, "Are you gonna be able to keep this energy up the whole week?" And I thought, I'm not even keeping it up right now. Like we just started, and I'm already tired. But we made it. We made it through. Yeah, we made it through. Whew! Praise the Lord.
Yeah, it was good.
Yes,
it was good. I was pretty exhausted because. I think everybody on staff had just some kind of small role to play in VBS, but I think most everybody else can work from home, and come in a little bit later, just to knock out whatever. Yeah. All of my work is here at the church.
Jared and I think we're the only ones here that week. I think you and I were the only ones here that week.
We were here.
And I was even trying to come in a little bit later, but if I came in later, then I felt like I didn't get everything done. So I'm like, oh my goodness.
Yeah. I was here every single day from 8. It was like from 8 to 8. It felt like. Yeah. Just since Sunday. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Sunday was probably my most tiresome day because we're here, early Sunday morning. Yeah. And it was Compassion Sunday that Sunday. So we had stuff all weekend with Compassion Sunday. And then we had taken our speaker out for lunch. Mm-hmm. And like in my head, I'm like, there is still so much that needs to be done. But
for sure.
There was no, somebody had to take her out to lunch, right? And so I was so privileged that we got to do that. We had a great time, great conversations with her. But in the back of my mind, I knew there was still a lot that needed to be done. And so I got back here to the church and I put Landon and Olivia to work. And we got it done. Yeah. Olivia said, she told Kristen that she said, Aunt Jessa seems a little stressed. Yeah. And I said, Aunt Jessa is just tired and just wants to get this started so we can get home this evening.
Yeah. Now, one of the things that for me, whenever I was growing up, one of the big highlights of the whole week was the offering. We had this for the church I went to. It was just kind of like this wooden pendulum, and so it was based on weight. And so people were, they'd take $1 or $5 and go to the bank and get rolls of pennies. Just whatever would weigh the most. And whoever, it was always boys versus girls. Yep. And I forget what the prize was. I just remember that we needed to bring the most coins. Talk a little bit about the offering and kind of the competition and what the reward was for the offering.
Okay, so I'm with you with that. That's something that when I remember growing up, going to Bible school, I remember that. I remember those competitions where you had like you said, that weighted thing. Yeah. I remember one year you had to put all your money in a bucket to see whose bucket would fall. We did it in boats one year, and if your boat sunk, that was a cool thing. Just all those different ways to do it. So
one year for us, we did clear PVC pipe.
Yeah.
And so as it filled up.
Yep.
And so they would climb up on a ladder
and dump it in. Yeah. Dump it out. There was always, I felt like every year there was always something different. Yeah. So We, at first I was going to do it to where they would sink a boat because it would have gone with our theme. But then I'm like, I don't feel like putting water up on the stage. So we're just going to have it be a lovely competition of boys versus girls. And the winner of the best 3 out of 5 would get to pick one kid from each class, each age group, to throw a pie in someone's face. And the kids got to pick who they were going to throw the pie in their face.
Yeah.
And so night 1, the boys, now I will say this, the kids didn't really know what to expect as far as offering goes. You know what I mean? Like, especially since VBS hasn't been here for a while, they didn't really, I mean, some kids brought money, some didn't. We brought in like $18 the first night.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't a whole lot of money, but that's okay.
Yeah.
But the boys ended up winning the first night. I think they had like $12 or something like that. And so they won that first night, and then the boys won the second night, and the girls are like
by starting just a little bit.
Just a little bit. It was like a $3 or $4 difference. It wasn't very much. The difference that second night was not very much at all. But again, they knew like it was still, they were starting to learn like, hey, we got to bring this money in because it's going towards something. Like that whole week we had talked about making waves, and and we really did. And we'll talk about that in a little bit, like how it just blows my mind, the waves that they made at that age for the impact for what they did. So
the first night is $18.
The first night was like $18. The second night, I think it was like $42 and $45 or something like that. I mean, it was like a $3 or $4 difference. It wasn't much.
So combined total probably between $85 and $90.
Yeah. Yes. So the third night, the girls, if the boys won, if the girls didn't win and the boys won, it was over, basically. I mean, the boys would have taken it 3-0. There would have been no other competition. And then they would have had to wait till Thursday night in order to throw their pies in the face.
Yeah.
But the girls brought it that third night, and the boys brought in like $90, something like that. And the girls brought in $377. $377. And when they brought me the paper that night, I didn't know what to say. My mouth like dropped, and I said, are you serious? Like, is this real? And they were like, yes.
For parents to trust like small kids with that amount
of money. A little girl brought in $100. A little girl, like kindergartner, brought in $100. I about died. And so it was funny because the ladies were in the lobby and they were counting it, and they were like, these girls have a lot of 20s in here. Like, I'm like, where did they get all this money? I had one mom tell me that her daughter went home and was like getting her piggy bank out and was like going through it. And I said, did she bring stuff? She said, yes. She said, she just kept telling me, Mom, I got to take money. I got to take money. I got to take money. So sure enough, they went and the girls won. It was like $377. It was crazy. The girls ended up winning that was third night. So the fourth night, the girls ended up winning. I can't remember what it was. It was, again, it wasn't very much of a difference. In the two, it was like maybe $140 and a 97 or something like that. And then the last night,
which came down to the tiebreaker.
It came down to the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
And it was a tie.
Yeah.
We made it a tie.
Yeah.
There was a $15.23 difference between the boys and the girls.
Yeah.
And so we had someone that just made it even.
Yeah.
And we got to pick one so each kid or each teacher, it was based on behavior. Yeah. And so each teacher got to pick 2 kids from their class, 1 boy and 1 girl. And then those kids got to choose which leader, anyone really, that they wanted to throw a pie in their face. Jared got some pies.
I got 2.
You got 2. I got 3.
Yeah.
I think I got 3. I got the little ones. All the little ones got me.
Yeah.
But I was lucky that none of the elementary got me because I wasn't a crew leader. So like that week, you guys were crew leaders. You guys were getting to know them, all that stuff. So it was really cool though to be able to see them pick that and have fun. So
yeah.
Your son got your wife.
Yeah. Luke picked Erica, and he flat out just hauled it at her face.
Yeah.
Just cocked back like a pitcher. I mean, it's like you could hear the slap, just boom, and hit her right in the face. And like it was funny seeing Scott's reaction because Scott was like, "Oh my gosh, like that boy's got an arm on him."
Yeah, absolutely. There's actually a little boy I say little, he's not little, he's in 4th grade, 5th grade. But he's on Landon's baseball team.
Yeah.
And he was here. And that last night, he brought in $70.
Oh, wow.
And so I ended up choosing him to be an extra person to throw a pie. And I really was like, oh my goodness, I shouldn't have chosen him because he's going to end up choosing me, which he ended up not. I was so thankful. He ended up choosing Erica. Not your wife, but the other Erica.
Yeah.
And he ended up choosing her. And I kept all I could think was, please do not hit her that hard, Gage, because
for real.
He has so Gage has played on Landon's ball team for the last probably 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
And I actually when Landon first came up and played coach pitch with Gage, I was catching at home plate for Scott, and Gage had thrown the ball at me and it bounced out of my glove and hit me in the knee. And I had a bruise on my knee. And all I could think when he came up to throw that pie in her face was, please don't break her nose. Please don't break her nose. Please don't break her nose. Because I know how powerful that kid is. And so I was like, oh my gosh, please don't hurt her. He was easy though. He was actually way easier than I thought he would be.
So I had I got hit in the face 2 times, both kids from the kindergarten, 1st grade. And so the first one that got me was Millie. And so she kind of hesitantly kind of put it in there, but kind of pushed really good. And it got it got me really a lot better than, them little preschoolers that just barely got like the tip of your, you had to end up taking the plate and smashing it on your own self just so they can kind of like set the tone or the precedent of like the what we wanted to see out of this. So Millie got me pretty good, and then the next little boy that came up, Reagan was his name, and the way that he smashed this pie in my face was at like an upward angle, and the good Lord blessed me with this beak on the front of my face, and so my nostrils are already pretty big, and so they just kind of shoveled into my face. The cavities of my face. Well, it's all dairy.
But it's like...
I smelled rotten milk for like 3 days.
And that's what's crazy. Like, even within just like an hour, I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to get home and wash my face. I'm like washing my nose and everything because it stunk.
Well, yeah, it was in my hair too.
Oh, yeah. It was everywhere. It was everywhere.
But, I mean, the amount of whipped cream that went into my nose, I felt like I could taste it. I mean, it just acted like a shovel, just kind of like getting up in there. But it was totally worth it. So, and the point of this is to kind of we're setting the stage for the excitement around the offering and why so much was given through the offering. Tell us about our mission partner and all the money, every single last penny that every single kid gave. It went directly to this.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about our mission partner and what this went towards seeing happen.
Yeah. So if you've been listening to the Pastor's Potluck, you heard Pastor Scott and Pastor Cheryl probably 4 or 5 months ago, talk about our new missions partner, Kids Around the World.
Yeah, they went to a trip
to Ecuador, and then a couple of months ago, it was just last month, I think, Pastor Scott had done the offering for Kids Around the World. We are going to be a new missions partner with them. And so one of the things that we're going to be doing is going to be doing a food packing with them in the fall, like September, October. Mm-hmm. And so Southridge still owed about $1,500 for that food packing. Yeah. And so we were trying to come up with a missions partner that we could take up offering throughout the week of VBS and that it would go towards that.
Yeah.
And so we did Kids Around the World. That's perfect. And so we explained it to the kids a little bit about what they were doing, how that works, that Kids Around the World does these basically Jesus camps, I guess, playgrounds. They get to go in, the kids get to learn about Jesus, they get to play, they get to have fun, but then they also get fed while they're there. And so we told them we're going to be packing meals, we're going to be doing these things. And that's what this money is going for. And like I said earlier, our theme for the whole week was make waves. And so we talked about how we can make waves for Jesus. It doesn't matter how old we are. Like, we can make an impact. It doesn't matter if we're 5 or we're 30, like, or if we're 100, like, we can make waves for Jesus. And so to know that these kids brought in almost $1,000. I mean, they fed, Scott told them on Tuesday night, Scott had told them, he said that it takes 25 cents to feed a kid.
Yeah.
For a meal, 25 cents. And on Wednesday night or Tuesday night, they had already fed almost 300 kids.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's crazy to me. But by the end of the week, our kids had fed almost 4,000 children.
Yeah.
And it just, like, that Thursday night when I had done the math, and listen, I don't do very good math. So when I did the math, I just kept looking at my phone and I thought, is this real? Like, this is crazy to me that these kids brought in. It was close to $1,000. It was like 900 and some or 800 and some. I mean, it was very close to $1,000.
Yeah.
By the time it was all said and done. And I mean, it was almost 4,000 kids that these kids got to feed. For 25 cents a meal, and they fed almost 4,000 kids. I remember that last night of VBS, though, we were standing up there and I was getting ready to make that announcement. And when I looked down, like, I just got teary-eyed and like got choked up because I thought, these kids, like, we've talked all week about making waves for Jesus. And you didn't just make waves, like, you made a splash. Like, you made a huge impact on these kids in Ecuador. And just to know that, like, kids here in West Virginia, in Southridge, South Charleston, West Virginia, are making a difference in Los Chacras, Ecuador.
Yeah.
Miles and miles and miles and miles away. And they're going to get to not only give that money, but hopefully when we do that food packing, they'll actually get to be a part of that.
For sure.
And know that that money that they raised is then packing these meals, and then those meals are now going to kids that they helped feed. Like, they made a huge dent. And our church only owed $1,500. Like, we only needed $1,500 to do this food packing, and our kids brought in almost 1,000 of that.
Yeah.
Like, that is huge to know that. And throughout the whole week, we had 113 kids total throughout the whole week.
Yeah.
And that was with, like, I think the most we had on one evening was like 75. But, like, the whole total for the week was 113 kids. 113 kids.
Different kids.
113 different kids.
You're not counting
for
my
5
kid
days.
every single 5
No.
night, every night.
113 different kids brought in almost $1,000 to feed over 4,000 kids. And that is amazing. That is amazing.
It goes back to one of the things that we talked about in one of the lessons was the ripple effect.
Mm-hmm.
Every action that you have has this lasting effect, whether it's a good or a bad decision. And one of the things that's important is that the effect that came out of this was a good effect.
Yeah.
And so this lasting effect that's happening each and every single time that it pops up, that kid's always going to be reminded of that one time.
Oh, for sure.
That they were fed. And it may be multiple times that they are fed, because this is one of our long-term ministry partners. We're going to be taking a missions trips there. We're going to be building a playground in this community, and so on and so forth. And these kids are going to be able to go to school and just hear the gospel. I mean, this is a lasting ripple effect.
Absolutely. And I think what's really cool about that too is that, like you said, this is a long-term ministry partner of Southridge Church. Some of these kids that attend Southridge Church 5-10 years down the road could be going and being, seeing what their money actually went to.
Oh yeah.
Which I think is really cool.
How amazing is that for them to be able to look back and they say, you know what, I was a part of the first ministry opportunity.
Absolutely.
Like with this community in Los Chacras in Ecuador. Like what? Like it just kind of blows my mind. And another thing that's important to kind of state here is that it's a great way for our kids to be a part of our missions opportunities at such a young age. So many times, and I'm just I'm just saying this as a church as a whole in America. Right. Opportunities like this, or it's just not even thought about. There's separation between what happens in kids' church,
yes,
and what happens in our worship center each and every single Sunday morning. And what's so important is that this imaginary wall is kind of torn down, because the adults are hearing and being a part of what these mission opportunities, but also the kids as well, because it's not just looking for the church to say, you know what, let's just hear what Pastor Scott has to say about this mission opportunity, or maybe, you know, like a mission opportunity or whatever you have on your heart. It's an opportunity for the parents to be able to maybe explain a little bit more and drive home these opportunities for their kids to be able to jump in and be a part of those things, which is so pivotal.
I think it was cool too that Sunday that we started VBS was actually, like I said earlier, it was like Compassion Sunday that Sunday too. And something really cool that Compassion did was they actually sent us curriculum for our kids ministry. So like you said, a lot of times there's this wall where what our kids are doing and what their parents are doing may be two totally different things. But it was really neat because on Compassion Sunday, our kids were learning about Compassion Ministries the same way that their parents were. And so when their parents were coming to pick them up and they were bringing back these little the little sponsorship cards, our kids had just talked about that. And then Nora actually came back after first service and met our kids. And so we were talking about how, and Nora told him, she said, I used to be a kid on that card. Like, I'm a real person. I'm standing here in Charleston, West Virginia. And like, I used to be one of those kids on that card. And so for them to be able to connect those things and talk about those things, and then to be able to, throughout that whole week, to then again kind of go back and know like that you too can make a difference. Whether it's on Compassion Sunday and your parents and family are you know, sponsoring a kid, or you're bringing an offering and you're helping feed 4,000 kids in Ecuador. Like you can make a difference. And I mean, we just finished up our kids ministry and youth ministry just finished up a project that we were doing called Filters of Hope. And they raised enough money for over 6 filters to go to other countries to help families with clean water. So it's really neat to be able to know that our kids can make a difference.
For sure.
And like you said, I think a lot of times like there is that wall of like, we don't know what's happening, but this way people knew what was happening, and those kids were able to make that ripple effect. They were able to make that huge impact that was, I mean, hopefully will be a lifelong impact, not just on those kids, but on the kids in Ecuador as well.
For sure. I would gladly take 1, 2, 10, 20 pies in the face.
Absolutely.
Just to see that amount of excitement around something, and just towards that mission opportunity. It's just so awesome. I just love that our kids are being taught to be compassionate.
Absolutely.
And doing whatever is necessary to share the gospel by any means. I mean, I can only imagine the types of conversations that they were having with their parents. Hey, like, you know, like we have a chance to win this. Like, you know, we get to throw a pie, and then also saying, and every single night just saying, hey, what your offering is going towards is feeding kids in Ecuador.
Well, they kept asking, how many kids have we fed? How many kids have we fed? And I'm like, I don't do math. Hold on. Let me pull my phone out. Like,
I don't plus good, guys.
I don't plus and minus very well. It's like Michelle came to get the money from me the other day, and I said, it's like, I can't remember. It was like 8 something. It was like almost $900. And she's like, I was thinking it was close to 1,000. And I was like, I don't do math. Like it was close to 1,000. 8, 9 is close to 1,000. But we also didn't have our papers those first 2 nights. And I lost them. And so just whenever they were finished counting that final night, we got the final total. But it was like almost, it was, I mean, within $100 of being $1,000. So.
That's amazing. So awesome. I look forward to the next one. I look forward to many more pies in the face, just because I know that our kids are being taught the importance of giving, the importance of these mission opportunities, the importance of doing whatever's necessary to share the gospel. Like I said, I'd gladly take. I'd take another 5 pies in the face right now if I knew that there would be another $100-$200 coming in.
That's right.
Hey,
is that a challenge?
It is a challenge.
Is that a challenge?
Yeah, we'll do it right here on the potluck.
We'll do it. We'll do it on the potluck. Jared and I will both take a pie. We'll take more than one pie.
Yeah, take a pie in the face.
I'm cool with
it. For every $100.
We got like we had needed 1,500.
Yeah.
So we needed about $600 left to meet that goal. So.
And I'll do it on different episodes, not all on the same episode.
You don't want it all on the same episode?
No, because I'm just saying like it's.
And then whoever is the other host,
I'm only going to be dirty one day, and that's not.
That's true, but then whoever's the other host, you could both get a pie.
For sure.
See, I just kind of voluntold the other people that were going to be on here. That's all right. Yeah. They'll be all right.
It's all good.
They'll be good.
Well, hey, we're up to our mystery meat challenge here. I'm excited. VBS was awesome. I think it was pretty good.
It was a lot of fun.
I got to restock this.
You do. It's getting low.
Getting low. I think we only got maybe a handful left.
Ooh.
Handwriting. I think this. I don't know who this is. What's your favorite sandwich and why?
My favorite sandwich?
Yeah. So our mystery meat question, but just before you answer this,
okay.
Our theme is potluck here.
Yeah.
So you're walking down the table, the buffet table. You don't know what everybody else has brought. They've always got the mystery meat. That's one of our questions here. Is you don't know what's coming. You got to answer it, and so
I feel like I always get the most random. I think the last time I was in here, it was something about is cereal and soup the same thing or something weird like that.
Yeah.
Today, what's my favorite sandwich? I don't know. I would say I really love peppered turkey.
Yeah.
So probably a peppy,
like the stuff you get at the deli.
Yeah, like a slight, like that kind of sandwich. If I'm thinking a sandwich, that's what I think of. I would say like peppered turkey with mayonnaise and some cheese.
So you're a cold cuts gal?
I do love cold cuts. I do. Now I will say there's a place here in Charleston. Just thinking about it makes me want to go there for lunch. But it's like up near the airport. But there's a place in Charleston called Deli Fresh. Have you ever been there?
No.
Okay, it's up by the airport, up on Greenbrier Street.
Okay.
I really do want some now. But they have some of the best sandwiches, and they're not cold cut sandwiches. Okay. You can get it cold if you want.
Yeah.
But they have it on these like, I don't know what kind of bread it is, but it's like that big bread, like sub bread, but it's not like Subway bread.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's some kind of really delicious bread.
Yeah.
And I always get the turkey and cheese, and it's always heated up.
Yeah.
Oh, my Lanta. It is probably one of my favorite warm sandwiches.
Dude, I don't know. For me, I think like whenever I think of sandwich, for some reason, like you can't beat like a really good burger.
See, I don't think sandwich, and when I think sandwich, I don't think of a burger.
Stop. Don't even go there.
I don't.
Stop.
I don't.
Stop. Okay. Look, a sandwich, bread, meat, condiments, accoutrements, another piece of bread. Okay. What is a stinking burger? It's the same thing.
A burger is bread, a burger.
Meat, cheese, accoutrements, another piece of bread on top. That is the very definition of a sandwich.
Okay.
We're not even going to start this, Jessica.
I can't think. That's not where my brain went. My brain went sandwich is a cold cut.
I know. Grilled cheese sandwich.
Well, that would be a sandwich. I like grilled cheese. I also like fried jelly. We've talked about this.
Yes.
And did you eat it on Christmas Eve?
Actually, yes, I did.
It was not bad.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't good. It wasn't bad.
It was good. It is good.
I know that's the highlight for your family. But see, I think that there's this emotional connection with food, right?
Oh, for sure.
So if you grow up eating something and it's a part of like your upbringing, I mean, it's what triggers it, what brings back, it's what evokes an emotional response.
Oh yeah,
right?
Yeah.
I don't have that emotional connection with fried jelly. It was good. Don't get me wrong. It was good. I would eat it again. I don't have the emotional connection. It's just like you don't have the emotional connection with rice and gravy. People don't understand that. And whenever I try to explain it to them, it's like, okay, like I grew up in Louisiana. And so rice,
like brown gravy? Like any kind of gravy?
Whatever juices, the meat that you were cooking.
Yeah.
You take that and make a gravy with it. You know, you take a little bit of water, put some cornstarch, dilute the cornstarch, bring it up and put it in the meat juices, bring it up to a boil to where it thickens a little bit, and then you just put it on top of rice.
That actually sounds good, though.
See, that's what I'm saying.
I think that sounds good, though.
But for me, the emotional connection with that, just because it was a large part. It doesn't make sense to a lot of people. It's like if somebody ate Spam growing up and that's what they ate a lot of, then having fried bologna sandwiches.
Love some fried bologna.
You know, like every single morning you know, your parents got up and made eggs and bacon or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, things like that evoke an emotional response.
Yeah.
So fried jelly for me doesn't do that. But getting back on top
of it, rice and gravy does. So
yes. But a burger is so much a sandwich.
Okay.
So much a sandwich.
I will give it to you.
What about now? Have you ever had? What am I trying to say? It's a French dip sandwich.
Like, yeah.
It's like on the Subway bun, but they put roast beef and they put provolone cheese and you dip it in the au jus.
Yeah, it's not my favorite.
Oh man. I wish we had Jason's Deli here. I used to do that all the time.
Oh, yeah. We had those in Kansas City. It was really good.
Yeah. They had one that was like the best.
Yeah.
And my dad and I would go and eat there like at least once a week.
Yeah.
And it was amazing.
They are really good. I've eaten there a couple times when we were in KC. It was always really
good. And they
had
all you can eat soft serve ice cream.
They did.
That's the best.
And you love ice cream.
I love ice cream.
Did you have any good ice cream when you were on vacation?
Did I even eat ice cream while I was on vacation?
I'm about to eat ice cream when I go on vacation.
I don't know.
There's this really good place that we always go to every year in Myrtle.
Yeah.
Well, it's really in Surfside because we don't stay in downtown Myrtle. We stay at Surfside. But it's called Myers Ice Cream.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my word.
I've heard of that. I heard it's really good.
Oh, my goodness. It is delicious.
Yeah.
Delicious.
Why do I feel like most of our conversations here on the potluck always turn to food for some reason?
It's called a potluck for a reason, Jared.
I feel like I'm ill qualified to talk about these things, even though I'm so passionate about it. Like we always talk about food, and like at the end of these conversations, I'm going, God Almighty, we talked about food again.
I know, and I'm not even kidding you. All my brain can think of is that sandwich at Deli Fresh. Like that is the only thing that my brain is thinking of right now.
Is that what you're gonna do for lunch?
I don't know, because it's all the way up by the airport, and I don't know if I want to drive that far.
Dude, it's not that big of a drive. You drive farther to get to work.
I do. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. Well, I really, really had a blast that week of VBS. It was amazing. I'm so excited that the kids kind of bought into like that vision and that idea of wanting to feed the kids. It was awesome week. Hats off to you and all the kids, men, volunteers that just made it just a special week. The decorations to the snacks.
I can say with 1,000% certainty, like we had some of the best volunteers that week.
Yeah.
We really did. People that have never volunteered with kids ministry before stepped up, and hats off.
Just wanting to be a
We
part
had
of
over 50 volunteers that week. People that actually hadn't even signed up ended up showing up and helping throughout the week, which was awesome.
Yeah.
The teens were amazing. They helped Anna with the games, and just, I don't know, everybody they were just awesome. I mean, I couldn't have done it without them and without everyone. But just hats off, because I mean, you guys helped make it such an amazing week, and you guys built relationships with these kids that they'll remember. I mean, they'll remember walking silly down the hallway, for a long time. Yep. And so I think that's really cool.
Yep, for sure. Awesome. Well, thank you all of you who are listening and or watching this. Hey, we really appreciate you being faithful and being a part of the conversation here at the potluck. Somebody's got to turn in some stinking questions to help fill this, please. Tired of talking about food. Not really, but I think that we need some more random questions. So, hey, if you can, go to Facebook and search up the Pastor's Potluck Podcast and send us a message with your random questions that you want to hear us answer here on.
And don't forget, Jared put a challenge out that if you send in $100, he'll take a pie in the face
on the
potluck.
On the potluck,
you have to make sure you let us know that it was for Ecuador, for kids around the world.
Now, I don't know that I'll do it like in here because we
would probably need to. Yeah, no.
But we'll
make
video
it work.
it. Yeah, we'll video
make it work
and tag it on the end of this video. But awesome. Really appreciate you. So excited for the future of the kids ministry here at Southridge. You're doing amazing things. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Not that I have any say so in your reviews or anything like that, but from a parent,
thank you.
From a fellow staff member, you're killing it. Keep up the good work. It's awesome to see the growth. Awesome. You guys have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next week for another episode of The Potluck. Thank you so much for listening in with us today. We really appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You can also follow us on social media, on Facebook, Instagram. You can also watch the video version of this on YouTube as well. All you have to do is search up the Pastor's Potluck Podcast. From all of us here, we want to say thank you, and we'll see you next week.